Hi everyone, I'm the leader of the Bliss Revolution. I'm Trudi Bannister and today I'm going to take you on a journey. How are you feeling today? Feeling good? Yeah? Okay, great. So whether you're feeling good or not so good or great or fantastic, I'm going to take you on a journey that ends in ecstatic joy and the divinity of bliss, our natural state. So this journey starts right here today on this stage in Las Vegas. And it starts with a fairy tale with a twist. Once upon a time in a kingdom far away, there lived a princess with her handsome prince and 3 beautiful young children. They were a happy, contented family making the most of life, living, laughing and loving with joy. The prince ran a big company and the princess was a psychologist and a devoted mother to their 3 children. Long had they dreamt of taking a sabbatical in Europe, and one fine day they took a trip to the sunny south of France to find the ideal setting to take their children for a wonderful adventure. They came across Aix-en-Provence in their travels and found it to be the perfect place for the next chapter of their lives. So they came back to Singapore, to their castle, and they packed it up, and they began their journey towards moving to France. The prince left his managing director role and decided that it was time to spend more time with his family and to pursue his passions. And the princess decided that she would do her PhD research in France and work with her clients, and together they'd raise their children. It was the perfect recipe. Everything felt great. Then, just 5 days before they were due to depart, the prince became gripped with fear and he said, "I don't want to go. It's your dream, not mine. You can go, but the children will stay here." The princess was shocked, confused. How can you say these wretched things? How can you betray us this way? It was a moment of going inward, and she really had to compose herself and find that inner strength. And she said, "I can see you are in fear. And I am so sorry to see that's the case, but it is my dream. And I need to follow my dream. Everything's set up for the next stage of our lives. I must go, and the children will come with me. And what you do is now for you to decide." And the next few days, of course, packing was still to do and caretaking children and preparing for the move, and all the while saying, what went wrong? How did this happen? Why me? How did life get to this way? Everything was perfect. What's gone wrong? And they got to the point where it was time to leave. And the prince said, "Okay, I don't know what to do, but I'm going to come along." And so they started their journey. And as had long been planned on the way to their trip that would end in the south of France, they went on a glorious trip through the canals of Venice, and they sailed through Croatia and hiked mountains and adventured through ancient cities and had an amazing time. But the prince remained troubled. He had been gripped with fear and he couldn't quite work out what was next for him. And so they moved into their castle in France, and he still could not settle into the life. And so, as he had strongly declared, he would not stay in France, and he left the princess and the 3 children and set off in the sunset to move to Australia. Has anyone ever had a really life-changing event that shocked you like that? Yeah. And what that experience does is this. It gives you the chance to sink or swim. And you have the choice. You have the choice to sink or swim. You can say, "Oh my God, you've ruined my fairy tale. What happened?" And yes, it's important to self-inquire. And then on the other hand, it's for us to trust ourselves, to trust the world, to trust that what is unfolding is for our highest good. And while the princess knew that what she was experiencing was for her highest good, and ultimately for the highest good of all and for her soul growth, she still occasionally said, "Really? Did I need to learn the lesson in this way?" But for the most part, she surrendered and trusted. And that's where the real fairy tale began. It's actually really where she came to learn about herself, learn about what she was really made of. And that's what these situations do. They break us open and they ask us to transform. And they give us the opportunity to truly feel, to truly see what we're made of. And so the princess had this opportunity now. The prince was gone, the children were thriving. The prince had said that. He had said, "I can see the children are thriving here and you are in your element, but it is not my dream and I must go and find my own dream." And so as life unfolded, the princess learned about herself. She took the deep dive. She learned that while she thought that she had done a lot of inner work and she worked as a psychologist, she worked with people, she taught self-love, she taught self-acceptance, she recognized that this journey was now her journey, her opportunity to learn about herself, her opportunity to do that deep dive. And when we are asked to, when we're broken open in these ways, it's our opportunity to do that deep dive, to go within, to shine a torchlight into all the deep corners and to really recognize within ourselves what's been holding us back, what our beliefs are that have been restricting us in ways, holding us back from our infinite potential. So she took that torchlight within and she learned about herself. She learned what had got her to this point, because life really is this amazing journey. And every day we have the opportunity to go within and see how each day in our lives are impacting us, and to see what it is, the lessons are that we're being taught, what we're being shown, what we are here to learn. So she learned some pretty major lessons about being in bliss. She went through the journey from the experience of being in a happy marriage to suffering. You know, it really throws you inward when life as you know it implodes in a way, and while you know it's to break you open, and you trust it's to break you open, and the idea is transformation, it still grips you and you say, "Why me? What happened here?" Until one day you recognize just how much has gone on to show you that life really is to be trusted, and that there always is the silver lining. So the princess spent this time going inward. Oh my goodness. Having had 3 children, she felt that they were the greatest motivation for her to know herself better. But this situation threw her inward like nothing ever had in her entire life. And inward she went. She took that deep dive. She took the invitation and she said, "Yes, it's time for me to really, really understand myself." And she went within and she examined the subconscious beliefs that had been driving her behaviours. She took full responsibility for what had gone on in her life and understood that these were her lessons for her to learn. So she took that deep dive and went within and examined her subconscious beliefs. Now, our subconscious beliefs are underlying pretty much everything we do. Literally, we spend the vast majority of every day acting from our subconscious mind, outside of our conscious awareness. Isn't that amazing? 95% of our brain activity stems from our subconscious mind, our subconscious beliefs. And those subconscious beliefs have been gathered since before we were born. And the most amazing part of this is that before we have a filter for this, everything that comes in is taken to be true. That filter for our conscious awareness only comes in from the age of around about 6 or 7. So everything we experience before the age of 7 years old is taken on without a filter. Isn't that astounding? I find that mind-boggling. I'm sure I learnt that in psychology when I was at university, but honestly, when I had kids, I recognised just how incredibly powerful we are as parents relating to our children. And if you go back and think, that's what we all experienced with our parents, with our caregivers. We are social mammals. We are designed to look to our elders and observe how to act and respond to life, what to expect. And that all pretty much, that baseline is created before the age of 7. So the princess went ahead and she learned about her subconscious beliefs that had been driving her, about her wounds, about her patterns, about the conditioning, about the limiting beliefs that had been holding her back. And there she was, thinking she had a fantastic life. Well, boom! She went straight through that. And suddenly she could see her value. She could see that she was worthy of anything her heart possibly desired. She could see her infinite potential. And she busted straight through that thing called happiness and found herself in utter bliss. That contented place within us where we feel one with all that is. Contented, joyful, happy in our bones. You know when you get really comfortable in your skin? That joyful place where you can genuinely say, yeah, I love that. Genuinely say, yes, I'm here. And everything feels right. And without that opportunity that the prince had given the princess, who knows, she may not have ever experienced that feeling of oneness, that genuine feeling of bliss and joy. And I invite you all to find that. Find that place within you yourselves. Because it is our natural state. We are here as spiritual beings in a human experience to enjoy life. To be truly happy. Comfy in our skin. Whoever said, we didn't come out as babies and say, hey mum, you're looking tired, do I need to drink from that? We came out saying, oh wow, like this is my lifetime. I've got infinite possibility. And then at some stage we learn about judgment and fear and to say I don't like you and I do like you and this is good and this is bad. Wow, we complicate our lives. We get so busy being busy. We forget that it's really, really, really simple to be happy and that it genuinely is our natural state. So I'd like you to take a deep breath, hold your head high, and know that you are completely worthy of everything your heart desires. Wherever you're coming from today and wherever you see yourself as going, you are completely worthy of whatever your heart desires. You are beautiful from the inside. You are actually joy incarnate. And give yourselves permission to shine. Know that you are truly built for bliss. Being joyful is your birthright. If there's anything that the transformation has shown me, it is that we really are here to step into our power. That really natural power that comes from within. You know, the part of us that's been told, shh, or don't, or, you know, that's too much. You know, find that within you again. Find the people who don't see that as too much. Know that you are perfectly perfect, perceived flaws and all. That you are beautiful and wonderful and magical. And let yourself go on this magical carpet ride that life is. You know, take those opportunities. Embrace them. Life is to be lived and loved, as are each of you. You are really, truly built for bliss. Thank you for being here today.